607 football season has kicked off around the country and in the nation's biggest high school sports hotbed, Texas. Officials are trying to get their heads around just how many athletes suffer concussions, and not just in football.
Starting this school year, the largest public high schools in Texas are required to report all sports-related concussions to a central database, allowing for more accurate tracking of these serious brain injuries. Here's NBC's Ron Mott.
Good job. Knees up.
Starting this school year, every large public high school in Texas is required to keep track of head injuries, not just in football, but in every sport. Mark Henry says his son, Zach, a senior running back, suffered a concussion as a sophomore and says his recovery was pretty tough.
If he gets another one, then yeah, it might be a different story. After two, I don't think I'd let him play football.
If Zach gets another one this season, the state of Texas wants to know about it. The new rule comes from the University Interscholastic League, which governs all sports in Texas. UIL partnered with UT Southwestern to study the data.
Over time, we want to be able to look at trends in concussion as there are rule changes, safety procedures implemented. Everyone wants to make sports safer, and that's clearly something we want to help with.
Researchers will monitor concussion trends, treatment protocols, and return to play data. To address privacy concerns, officials say the database will contain no information that could identify the injured athlete. The move comes at a time new high school sports participation numbers show a nationwide decline for the first time in 30 years. In 2018, the number of athletes down by more than 43,000 from the previous year. High school football participation dropping by more than 30,000 nationwide to its lowest numbers in 20 years. And the risk of injury, some say, could be among the factors driving interest down.
What time is the game tomorrow?
Casey Gray isn't letting his prior concussion keep him off the field.
No, it didn't stop me. I'm cool now.
His mom, though, has a few more worries.
I know he loves the sport, but, if it comes to his health, Wait a minute.
In the NFL, where head injuries have been a major focus in recent years, promising news. Injury data show a dramatic drop in concussions last season compared to the year before, down from 281 to 214, a decrease of nearly 24%. Players are still getting hurt, of course, despite rules changes and new standards for equipment, especially helmets. Mark Henry says diligence and honesty among coaches and players alike are what's needed to continue improving safeguards for players like his son, Zach.
Just to be honest with his coaches and his training staff. If you're not feeling good, if you're not feeling right, come out. They all want to play and win, but your health is more important than a win in football.
And you don't know how many parents I've spoken to who say that's one of their concerns, their kid getting a concussion or an injury of that sort.
I feel like Texas, though, people are just so in love with football that they're going to risk it.
Football is good to watch.
Football's life.
It's fun.